20th place. Russ Chastain, B.J. McLeod, Ryan Preece, David Starr, and J.J. Ely in 20th. And then from the 21st to 25th, Corey LaHoy, Garrett Smithley, Ray Black Jr., Joey Gase, and Mario Gosselin. That rounds Mario Gosselin in 25th. Manufacturer standings for Xfinity Series. First place is Toyota with 125 points. Chevrolet in second place with 120. Third place is Ford with 106. And then fourth place is Dodge, and they're with 21 points. Alright, so it's the final stretch coming up next. What drivers to be looking out for, the turbo concept, and we'll explain what downforce is. So the final stretch is next. RP continues. So an article on BeyondTheFlag.com posted an article titled "NASCAR: 5 Drivers to Break Out in 2016." Excuse me. So here we go. 5 drivers to look out for this year. Austin Dillon, driver of the number 3 car, with his 2015 stats, which include 39 laps led, 1 top 5, 5 top 10s, and an average finish of 21.0. Now, don't ask me how they come up with average finish. I don't know. Okay. So, anyway, Kyle Larson is the next guy up. And, of course, Kyle Larson, the 42 car, last year led 115 laps, 2 top 5s, 10 top 10s, and an average finish of 19.3. Chase Elliott in the 25 car last year, in the 24 this year, because filling in for Jeff Gordon, his average finish was 26.2, okay? It's zeros all across the board, laps led, top 5, top 10, so I don't want to read it if it says 0 on there. And that reminds me, when I do the results from all the races, if I skip laps led or points, that means it's zeros, so I don't want to say the zeros. So if you hear me skipping the laps led, that means 0. And if I don't say the points, that means they gained on and lost on too. So that's the little thing we do here at RP. Ryan Blaney's the next one up, who led 5 laps last year, 1 top 5 and 2 top 10s, average finish 25.3. Now, the impressive one here, and that's why I think this next guy, a driver of the 78 car, is definitely one to look out for. And I think in time, this guy is going to be some big news in the Sprint Cup Series. Martin Truex Jr., who last year, in 2015, has led 567 laps, okay, 8 top 5s with 1 win. For the life of me, I forget which race it was. I saw that race too, but I forget which track they were at. But I did watch that race. I watch them all. Okay. So, and then also 22 top 10s. My goodness. Average finish 12.2. Now, some might get their feathers ruffled a little bit because Furniture Row switched from Chevy to Toyota. But I think this guy could be some big news very soon. So here we go. And my goodness, the guy almost won the Daytona 500. Almost. I could have sworn he crossed the line first. That's how close these two, the 78 and the 11, were going across that line 3 weeks ago. So there you go. Okay. Alright, so did you hear the 150 horsepower Can-Am Spider? Well, don't expect to see one spinning down your block anytime soon because it's a concept. So usually with concepts, if you go to the car shows and you see all the concept cars, they really don't make it to the road. They actually wind up getting scrapped, which is but it does happen. But this is the Can-Am Spider F3 Turbo Concept. This Can-Am Spider F3, which comes equipped with a 1330cc inline 3-cylinder engine with a Rotax developed turbocharger along with intercooler, similar to the Can-Am Maverick Turbo, also similar to the Sea-Doo RXP-X. So it's 150 horsepower at 6,800 RPM, along with 137 feet of torque at 5,000 RPM, and a 0 to 60 in roughly 4.3 seconds, quarter-mile time 12.3. Can-Am Spyder F3 concept comes with a sports mode to help control rear tire drifts. Also comes equipped with Fox shocks, special design Acropovic air intake, 3-to-3 straight pipe exhaust, also oversized air intake, and a NASCAR-inspired front spoiler and racing slicks. So there you go. What else we got here? All right, so and then Ricky Hendricks, Motorsports, whose plane was forced to make an emergency landing on Monday en route from Las Vegas to North Carolina. That was one of the big first news stories to break this week. The plane had to make an emergency landing in Memphis. On board was NASCAR team members. They reported smoke in the cockpit. Now, fortunately, nobody was injured, okay, which is really good. And also, none of the Hendricks Motorsports drivers on board, okay, that would be Jimmy Johnson, Chase Elliott, Dale Jr., and Casey Kane, not on board. But there was a fatal accident in 2004 when a HMS plane crashed on its way to Martinsville. 10 fatalities, including the son, brother, and nieces of Rick Hendricks. And in October of 2011, Rick Hendricks and his wife were on board a plane that crash-landed in Key West, Florida, after enduring brake failure and running off the runway. Rick Hendricks sustained a broken rib and a broken shoulder. Source, Motorsports.com. That's some crazy stuff right there. And I like Ricky Hendricks. Ricky Hendricks, my next favorite after Roderick Penske, because I like Joe Logano, and but I like the Ricky Hendricks drivers as well. You know, Dale Jr., Jimmy Johnson. You know, I got no beef with those guys at all. You know, I really don't got no beef with any of these guys. I just like watching. You know. If you want to talk beef, we'll talk about the Mets or the Yankees. That's the beef right there. So Dale Jr. happy with the new downforce package. Dale Jr. also spoke about the effects of the wind on Sunday, 50-mile-per-hour gusts and 25-mile-per-hour sustained winds and the sandstorm. Earnhardt Jr. tells Fox Sports, quote, "I think that affected all the cars and made the cars much harder to drive." He continues saying, "We had a huge wind blowing across the racetrack up into the wall." Dale Jr. reversed into the wall of a turn 2. One that made it difficult was getting down into the bottom of turn 3. And they did mention turn 3 and 4 on Sunday as being a trouble spot. He also points out that he could definitely feel it when the gusts pick up. And now for the downforce package, he says the one thing he really does like is that he can drive right up to the guy in front with that spoiler on the back. Dale Jr. says, quote, "I'm not really stuck behind people we used to be. A lot of drivers are want to keep going with this new downforce package," which leads to the question, what is the downforce package? Well, here we go. The downforce package. Okay, so basically, it's down force, so it's forcing the car to go lower to the ground, and of course, will give you better control, and makes the car stick. So, a downforce package, okay, that they talk about here is a combination of 3 items. It's the spoiler, the splitter, and the radiator pan. So here's the breakdown. First, the spoiler. So the air comes over the top of the car and hits the rear spoiler, and this pushes down the back of the car. So that's one element right there. And then you have the splitter, and the splitter is right underneath the lights and the grill. Okay. Some people might call it the skirt, but that's the splitter right there. And what that does is you get 2 air pressure zones. Okay, you get a high pressure zone above the splitter and a low pressure zone under the splitter, which sucks the car downward. And then you have the radiator pan, which is a flat panel, extends behind the splitter, under the car, and the radiator pan deflects the air and in turn creates even more downforce. Now, the difference between 2015 and 2016 is that the splitter in 2015 had a 2-inch overhang, where in 2016 it's a 1/4-inch overhang. And then the radiator pan in 2015 was 38 inches wide. In 2016, it is 33 inches wide. And the big one, the spoiler, in 2015, the spoiler was 6 inches. And then in 2016, the spoiler is 3.5 inches. Source, Auto Week. Alright, so let's get to it. We'll repeat the schedule one more time, and then we are out of here. Just a reminder, RP Express on Monday. We don't have a set time yet, but we're working on it. And then RP Full Throttle back on Thursday next week at 7:45. And apodradio.com, that's the place to go. apodradio.com, and boom, you'll see all 3 podcasts up there. Very easy to find. Built by myself using Squarespace, which is pretty cool. And there's no sign up, no email, nothing. You just go on there, you'll see the podcast, hit the play button, and you're good to go. And I believe you can download it over there as well. So there you go. You can also listen in live. So if you go to apodradio.com, you can listen in live. So you see the little live pop up there. That means we're going on live. And after the live broadcast, Spreaker by Magic automatically will pop up the recorded podcast in the same exact spot. So it's really sick how they do it, but it's really cool. So apodradio.com is the place to go. Racing podcast, college sport check, and then baseball update will be returning soon as well. So once again, let's go over the schedule for this weekend. Get all the racing fans out there set up. Saturday is the Xfinity Series event, and that's Saturday, March 12th, 2:30 p.m. Eastern, Fox and MRN. And that's the Exalta Faster, Tougher, Brighter 200. Then on Sunday, Sprint Cup Series, Sunday, March 13th at 3:30 p.m. And you got to set the clocks this weekend. Okay, I hate to tell you, but anyway, 3:30 on Fox and MRN on Sunday. That is the Good Sam 500, 312 laps scheduled. And then, of course, the season opener for IndyCar this Sunday, 12:52 p.m. on ABC, and that is the Firestone Grand Prix of St. Petersburg. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a wrap. So, I'd like to say thank you for tuning in. Enjoy this weekend of racing. See you next week and next Thursday at 7:45. apodradio.com. From the Skybox Podcasting Center in New York, this has been RP Full Throttle.